Hello everyone, I'm Arya, your host for today's session, and welcome to the FB Live, where we learn about stress and heart health. Well, if you are Indian origin living in US and your parents are visiting from India, you do not need to worry about their medical needs in US. eGlobalDoctors has your back. They have different packages for you that provide access to 280 plus doctors from India and US with 30 plus specialties. Prescription will be provided and they get back to you within 1 to 3 days of time. Family members can participate live via video physician consultation from any part of the world. Video consultation is about 30 minutes and no restriction on pre-existing medical conditions. In-app messaging with doctor after consultation and ID and portable health passports are also available. In today's FP Live session, we'll be exploring and providing more information about stress and how it affects the heart health with Dr. Ravi Bathina. He has been living in US since 1974. He's board certified in internal medicine, cardiovascular medicine, geriatric medicine, nuclear cardiology, and has level 2 certification in cardiac CTA and cardiac MRI. He's a fellow member of American Board of Internal Medicine and Cardiology, and he has worked in the cardiology group practice in Midwest California and USA. His present interest being in lifestyle medicine and to promote healthy living. Welcome to the FB Live, Dr. Bathina.
Good evening. Good evening, Arya. Good evening, Aishwarya. Yeah.
So talking about the stress and the heart health, that is our topic for today. I would start with a simple question, like what is the extent or the volume of heart disease in the Asian population?
Well, before I start answering your question, I really appreciate eGlobalDoctors team, entire team, trying to put up such wonderful teaching and experience to everybody around the world. And all of you folks are doing a great job. Congratulations and thank you. And today's topic, you said stress and heart disease, that's my favorite topic. And let us explore and find out, get some answers. And I would like to share my experience and knowledge with all of you guys. So, what I want to say is let me see. Just 1 second. Okay. So your question is very relevant. Cardiovascular disease and stress. So my background, I just want to give you, before I answer your question, I work with a group called South Asian Heart Center in California, which is mainly focused on heart disease affecting Southeast Asians. And also I have a similar program in India too. And this is very appropriate that we are doing this seminar today because month of February is declared by American Heart Association as Happy Heart Month. So you chose the right topic, Arya, for this month. This is Happy Heart Month. Yeah, so your question, heart disease, why is it so rampant? Just before I answer the question, I want you to pay attention here. This is published by a doctor from All India Institute, Delhi, Dr. Reddy. The cardiovascular diseases, the deaths will be 4 million per year. That's massive. And why we're having so much of high death problem is because of these two things. In India, there is high prevalence of high blood pressure and diabetes. So your original question, what is the volume and why? This is one study I want to show you. This was done in West Coast, Bay Area, San Francisco area by Kaiser Permanente group. What they found was, yes, heart attack happens in all groups, white, Japanese, Filipinos, and look at this, Asian Indians. We, Asian Indians, the incidence is almost double compared to other ethnic groups. That is massive. So we have to be very watchful and careful about it. So your question was why? That was what you said, right?
Yeah.
You said
Why?
why?
What is the reason? Yes.
Yes, it's a very important question. We should all pay attention. We always blame why Southeast Asians have more heart attacks. We say, well, it's in my genes. That's my genetic background. What do you mean by genes? Well, we have very low levels of good cholesterol, very high levels of bad cholesterol in the blood, and we have certain enzymes called LP, LDL, etc. And we have a lot of diabetes. So genetically, we are prone for this disease. I like this slide when you say genes load the gun. You know what really happens? Our lifestyle pulls the trigger. So answering your question in a simple way, that way you can remember, I made this little thing. 6 sins, 6 sins: stress, sleeplessness, sedentary habits, salt intake in excess, sugar intake in excess, sweet cow, sweet, sugars, and alcohol, spirits. So these are the reasons why we Indians or Southeast Asians have higher incidence of heart disease and heart attacks compared to the other ethnic groups. Today's topic, as you chose, what is the relation of stress? Stress is on the top of the list. How stress can cause heart attacks, we'll talk as we go along. Yeah.
Well, that was a very good name for actually expressing the bad habits that we need to get rid of.
Yes.
So what is the general human response to stress?
Yeah. We always hear the word stress. Everybody talks about stress. What is stress in the first place? Stress is perceived threat or conflict in a situation or a given relationship. It could be real or unreal, but we perceive it. It could be real too. And then our reaction to that perceived conflict or threat is the stress. So how does this stress manifest? There are 2 ways: immediate response, and the second one is the delayed or chronic response. Suppose the stress keeps on bugging you more, it becomes chronic and delayed. But immediate response or acute response. So the 2, one is the acute response, other is the delayed response, right? Now, after having said that, the response also is twofold. One is mind, psychological response. Other is the body, physiological response. So acute psychological response or acute body response, physiological response. Okay. So what is the acute response? Anxiety or anger is the acute response. You got some stressed out, you get angry or very anxious. And at the same time, that is the mind, right? Psychological. What happens to the body, physiological body? Your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure shoots up, you start sweating, you got tremors, sometimes you want to go to pee, all kinds of stuff. That is body. So the acute response is psychologically anger or anxiety, physiologically increased blood pressure, heart rate, etc. Okay, now if the stress goes on and on, chronic stress, somebody is being continuously bugged or bothered by chronic stress, what they behave is psychologically is they become very hostile. They get depressed. So chronic stress can lead to hostility and depression. And what about the body? Chronic stress has a tremendous impact on our immune system. You know, in the body, God has given immune cells called T cells and B cells. Chronic stress has a direct impact on the T cells. So T cell function is depressed. So they cannot deal with their immunity is so low, they can catch any disease just like that. So stress is a reaction to perceived conflict, and response is either acute or chronic. It could be mental or physical. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, so you said there is acute and chronic stress, which is further divided into like the psychological and physiological stress.
Right, right.
Okay,
Excellent.
and then what kind of people are impacted by these stress, and what are those effects of the same?
Let us see if I can get that slide. Yeah, who are vulnerable for stress? Mostly it is seen in low education, uneducated people, they are under a lot of stress. The other one is social isolation. They are isolated. Those are the kind of people who are under stress. And people are lonely in the sense without any family or emotional support. They are very vulnerable to stress. And of course, bereavement, divorce, all those things, they do cause stress. And type A personalities, type A personalities, these are the people, they are not at ease, nor they make people around them easy. They are pain everywhere. So these are all the kind of people that are vulnerable for stress. Yeah. So main point I want to take home message is, for the stress, we need social support to get over it. We need to be happy. We need to be a calm, cool kind of a guy, not running around and making, run. So these are the kind of people who are more exposed to, are vulnerable to stress. Yeah.
Okay. And if we talk about the heart attack or the heart health, how does the stress precipitate a heart attack?
Yeah, that is crux of our talk today, stress and heart disease. So before I jump into that, it sounds kind of silly. Stress is in the head. It's in the, psychological thing. How could it impact the heart? Heart is a physical body. So what is this relationship? That's what I want to explain to you in this slide. It's called psychoneurohumoral mechanism. Big buzzwords, but forget it. All that it says is head and heart, okay? Head has an impact on the heart. How does it work? Little bit of medical terminology here. In the brain, there's what is called hypothalamus. That is how to describe. Hypothalamus is like, if you go to an orchestra, there is a maestro, and he is indicating who has to play the drum and who has to play the piano, etc. So hypothalamus pituitary is that maestro of all the organs in the body. So that, what it does is, here I want to tell you one more thing. In our body, there are two things. Nervous system has two components. One is the so-called voluntary nervous system. That is, I want to raise my hand. Okay, raise my hand. I want to sit. I sit, and that is voluntary. The second system called involuntary or autonomous or autonomic nervous system. You might wonder, what is this autonomous nervous system? For example, you are blinking. Are you telling your eyes to blink? No. Your heart is beating. Autonomous. Your lungs are breathing. Autonomous. You are sweating. Autonomous. You are going to bathroom. So that is autonomous. So this autonomic nervous system is controlled by the hypothalamus. How does it control? Through certain hormones. It creates certain hormones called, for our talk, we'll say they are called stress hormones. They are called catecholamines or cortisol. So when these hormones are very high in the system, this autonomic nervous system is stimulated. And what it does, it causes increase the heartbeat, increase the blood pressure, increases the blood sugar count, blood vessels become constricted, narrow, and that sets a path for all the impact of acute stress. As I told you before, if it is chronic stress, it hurts the immune system, you get decreased immunity. Yeah, that's how the brain and the body work together. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the stress hormones that triggers the heart attack, basically.
Yes. Stress hormones are the precursors. They set a road for heart attack. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then how does yeah.
Heart attack, coming back to your question, heart attack, I'll do a little more medical thing. You know, when you have stress, heart beats faster, blood raises, muscles are tense, etc., etc. So what? Why is a heart attack? What happens is when they're under stress, all the blood vessels get into spasms, narrowed down. So the heart has trouble to pump. Heart has to work harder. Okay. So heart has to work harder, it has to work faster and under stress. And on the top of that, I want to explain to this little one. You know, this one, if you see this diagram, this is the heart, normal heart pumping. This is the heart. It has certain tubes called coronary arteries. All of us know people coronary arteries. Just like, you know, you go to petrol pump or gas station, you put the diesel or gas into your tank, petrol for your car to run. Similarly here, these are our tubes, gas tubes, petrol tubes. If they're clean and nice, petrol comes in to the heart, muscle heart can pump. Imagine if these tubes are narrowed down or clogged up or blocked, heart will suffer. So you can ask me, Dr. Batina, what is the relationship between this and heart attack? Well, acute stress, suddenly the heart vessels shrink. Suppose there is already some disease inside, for example, due to cholesterol buildup, it aggravates. For example, this one, this is a normal cross-section of the coronary artery. Nice and smooth. In stress or prolonged diabetes or high blood pressure or cholesterol, these tubes get narrowed and narrowed. So look at this narrowing. Instead of being wide and open, it becomes very small tunnel. Garden, for example, you've got water tubes, water hose. If it becomes narrow and constricted, what happens? You cannot water your garden. Same thing happens here. So now it's narrow. So as I told you, also can increase what's called thrombogenicity. That means blood clots. You know, we always talk about, my God, my blood boils. It literally boils. It becomes a clot. This one. Instead of being nice and open here, it becomes narrow and then suddenly it's clogged up. So how stress causes heart attack? This is the mechanism. What happens is your inner layers get narrowed and spoiled up. There's buildup of cholesterol and stress aggravates the formation of blood clots. And boom, that's when the heart says, hey, I need more oxygen, I need more blood. It's not coming. So that is heart attack. Yeah.
You explain those difficult medical terms very easily, giving examples in a simple language that anyone can understand.
Thank you.
So I would like to know, like, does stress impact the aging process or the longevity of life when it comes to like heart health?
Yeah. Actually, there are a lot of studies. You know, happy, people live longer. People are depressed, die sooner. There are some studies done. It's very important. Each cell in our body, when you are born compared to when you are old, they change. When you are born, it's called DNA. All of you heard the name DNA in the cells. In the DNA, this is DNA. At the tip of DNA, there are certain caps, like a cap. You can see the dark cap here. So DNA tentacles are covered with a cap. These caps get smaller and smaller as you grow older. You see, this is the cap of DNA of a young person. This is a cap of an older person. What's the difference? The DNA, the so-called telomere, this is called telomere. They get shrunken and shrunken. What the studies have shown was, person who are depressed or sad, the telomere length gets shorter and shorter, and they are more prone for heart attacks. So the bottom line for your question is, yes, sadness, depression decreases the longevity. Being happy increases your longevity. It's up to us. Aging is inevitable, but rate of aging is not. It's under our control. Don't care, okay? Be happy. Whatever happens, I don't care. It's my health. Don't care. Let the stress go to hell. I want to be peaceful. Okay, that's how it should be. Okay. Yeah.
So you were talking about the hormones. So there are some kind of happy hormones. So if you could elaborate on that with the stress
Yeah,
topic.
that's a good one. Happy hormones. These are called oxytocins, dopamine, serotonin, and endorphin. These are called happy hormones. These happy hormones counteract the stress. So instead of BP going up, it will settle down the BP. Instead of getting high sugar levels, it will settle down the heart rate. So all these things, so-called happy hormones, they help healing and they help growth of the body. And what I really want to tell you about oxytocin, medical student knows it. Oxytocins are highest in at the height of their pregnancy, delivery time, and during lactation. That's women are blessed. Women live longer because they are blessed with this. They are loving people. They give love. They live love, love, love. They have high levels of oxytocin. And that's how they don't react as bad as this ugly type A personalities of men. So you can ask me, how to stimulate oxytocin? How to stimulate happy hormones? Any sensory stimuli, just go into your garden and smell a rose. It will suddenly increase your oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. Or suppose stand in front of a dining table and see a wonderful biryani, Hyderabadi biryani. Suddenly your mouth waters. Ha ha. Oxytocin increases, serotonin increases. Or just listen to your music as you're walking, put your earplugs. These days I see all the youngsters put on the earplugs and keep walking all the time. Listen to nice, soothing music. All those things increase oxytocin, serotonin. Warmth, touching, petting. A lot of people are petting dogs or cats, hugging. All these things increase happy hormones. And what is more important to increase happy hormones is positive social life, positive family life, be with friends and family. Fanti amaro, just play any games, be silly. That's how it should be. But on the top of all this, I don't want to underplay the importance of meditation. Meditation, prayers, and empathy increase the hormones. A quote from Vivekananda I recently saw. Somebody asked him, "Oh, Swamiji, what do you gain? What do you gain by prayer, Swamiji?" So Vivekananda answered, I never saw that, I heard recently. He said, "I don't know what I gained by prayer, but I lost my anger. I lost my anxiety. I lost my fear." That's all I got. So prayer and meditation are very important. Meditation, there are several studies done. For example, this study with normal levels of cortisol, with transcendental meditation, the levels come down. It's proven. This is a study studied in JAMA. Then people with blood pressure, suppose they take usual tablets and pills, etc. That is their blood pressure. Whereas they also add TM, transcendental meditation, significantly comes down, proving the point meditation has significant impact on the cortisol levels. Same thing, heart attacks, cardiovascular mortality. With the transcendental meditation, they are very low compared to people who are not doing meditation. I don't care what meditation, be calm. Anyways, Kriya Yoga, Chakra Yoga, there are so many medications, Patanjali Yoga, any meditation you choose, meditation cools down. When I say cool down, really cools down the dopamine and all those stress hormones, increases your oxytocin, increases your serotonin, increases your endorphins. That is excellent treatment for stress management. In fact, it also affects the cholesterol levels. Meditation decreases cholesterol level too. So meditation, stress hormones are very important role, and we have to improve our happy hormones and decrease the stress hormones. Thank you.
Okay. So the key is to reduce the stress hormones, be happy and stress-free, yes, and just try to increase your happy hormones as much as you can.
That is the bottom line. That is a take-home message, okay? As says Johanna, don't argue, don't fight, accept everything, be happy, la, 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 la. Okay, because not for others' sake, it's for your own sake, Yeah. Thank you.
So with that, we'll be wrapping our session for today. I just want to tell our viewers and our listeners that eGlobalDoctors is one complete healthcare platform and solution for all your medical related issues and questions. They have 280 plus board certified doctors from US, India, UK, etc. with 30 plus specialties. You can visit www.eGlobalDoctors.com to know more about it and book a secure consultation with them. Thank you so much, Dr. Bethina, for walking us through this topic and telling us how to take care of your heart with managing stress. I hope it will be very helpful to everyone listening to us right now. Thank you so much.